Chronic. Tick, 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 tick. Boom. Well, if I could turn back time, if I could find a way, ladies and gentlemen, if I could, you'd all be invited back to a time when professional wrestling was the most must-see TV on every screen around the world. And right now, I feel like we're in a little valley we need desperately to crawl out from. And the way that we're going to crawl out from it is with a little nuclear blast. Yeah, we are going full force into this episode of The Meltdown. Welcome, my beautiful peeps around the world. My name's Tom Finkill. I'm about to introduce you to the reason you are all here, but it is a very, very, very special show because today marks our 6 month Meltiversary. Oh, living life and loving it from right here in Manchester to the other side of the world. It's been an absolute pleasure. So we will raise our glasses to you, our dedicated listeners, our beautiful viewers, and all the fans of The Meltdown. Thank you so much from me and Bryan. It means the world to us that you guys tune in. Leave us your comments, leave us your feedback, leave us your little reviews each and every week. Mark us 5 stars down on your podcast service. And let us know what the meltdown means to you. And as I give you that little bit of beautiful insight as to 6 months, I want to give to you, like I say, the reason you are all here. He is the finest man in any room. He is the 3 time tag team champion of the world. And he is my tag team partner, ladies and gentlemen. He is the legend, the man, the myth, the icon. He is Bryan Clark. Woo!
Thank you for that fantastic intro. As always, that is the Tomcat of Manchester, ladies and gentlemen. Do not get it twisted. He is the 3 time UK host of the year, Guinness World Record holder. This man has done it all, including carrying me for 6 months on this show. I could not do it without the Tomcat. There is no doubt Tom is always dripping in that internet gold, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, I want to thank you personally also. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for hitting the like button, the subscribe button, telling your family and friends. We appreciate it. We are growing each and every week. The numbers keep climbing. We are on a steady growth pattern and we love it. That's what we do here on The Meltdown. And we have another great show for you today. Tomcat, tell them what we got cooking.
Oh, it is a big week in our pro wrestling calendar because the WWE are about to load up those jets and head across the globe. Yes, even further than we are in distance, Bryan. They're taking a trip to Perth, Australia for Crown Jewel, the first Crown Jewel that is taking place outside of Saudi Arabia. So I'm going to be interested to find out how the Perth fans react to a full on PLE. I think the last one they had there was Elimination Chamber last year, but it is laden with homegrown talent in the form of Rhea Ripley and Bronson Reed. That's going to be interesting to see. We have got so much to unpack on today's show, so we're going to do a full sort of Crown Jewel preview, and we're going to do a little SmackDown Raw review from the things that we caught up on this particular week. And we are going to see exactly what the magnifying glass has been on this week in the world of professional wrestling. So before we get there, before we divulge anything that you guys have been seeing on your screens, I want to ask Bryan, how are your arms, good sir? Because you've been flying all over that fine country. Honestly, he has got more stamps in his passport than in any branch of the US Postal Service. Get it in there. He is back from New Jersey.
I am back. I had a great trip. I got to see a lot of great people, some superstars that will be appearing on the Meltdown. We have already confirmed two guests from that show and a lot more to come. And again, just was really great to reconnect and see some of the guys that I haven't seen in a while. Got to sit down and have a long chat with Raven. Flew back, went Jersey, Atlanta, Tucson. So we all flew back on the same plane. Myself, Scotty Riggs, and so we were chatting it up. Had a good time, good conversation, and like I said, just good to reconnect with those guys. I have October 5th. Excuse me, wait. That's the wait a minute. I was gonna do my mic sharp there, but it wasn't on point.
I thought it was good, to be fair. He
Wait a
is
minute.
Canada's strongest athlete. Go for it. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Love that guy, by the way. October 25th, Mesa, Arizona, which is actually it's a spot show for me, which is great. I don't have to fly.
Yeah.
November 1st is Minneapolis, Minnesota. That will be a long flight, but the great Muda will be there. Our big buddy Snitsky will be there. And of course, Carlito will be there. Yes.
Love it. Well, you know that I'm a big Muda fan. In fact, so much so that he is there framed on my desk with my son. He is incredible, absolutely incredible. I can't believe that when he did make the trip over here to the UK, that some of the UK wrestling fans took him to a Weatherspoons. And if you are from the UK and you know all about Weatherspoons, don't take anybody to Weatherspoons. It's literally the diviest of dive places,
Oh,
and fed him ramen noodles that were probably left on a cooking hob for at least 3 days. So I want you to divulge exactly what comes out of Muta's mouth when you ask him about Weatherspoons.
okay.
When you
You
get
have to
when you
remind
get
me,
them.
but yes, I can ask him that for sure. Like I said, I've got to see him since my All Japan days right over here, rocking the All Japan shirt, by the way. And then I finished up the year, this whirlwind of a year, with Dortmund, Germany, December 5th and 6th. That is going to be a loaded show with some big time superstars and film and television stars. So that is going to be fun. It's going to be a long trip. It's going to be worth it.
You have been busy, man. You have been cooking, but it's because everybody wants a little piece of the bomber, right? Everybody wants to get that little John Hancock from Adam Bomb. They want to snap with Wrath. They want to touch base with the legend and catch very beautifully straight. Foam bomb. I need to. You know what we need to do one day is you need to pass it out like that, and I need to catch one here.
Yes.
Let's make that happen. Love
Right.
it. Yes. Well, we got lots going on as Bryan is going to be literally spanning the globe. If you are tuning in from Germany, Deutschland, Guten Abend. We hope you are ready for another wonderful episode of The Meltdown. Make sure you go out of your way to check out the bomber while he's with you and let us know exactly what you guys have had signed because I saw some wonderful pictures from your time in New Jersey of signing photos. One of my favorites was actually from a gentleman called Mike, who I believe you signed a photo when you were as Adam Bomb and you were throwing an enhancement talent. He was the enhancement talent.
He said he had had that for 30 years at least, and he was waiting to, and he had it. He asked me, do you remember me? And I go, yes, of course I remember you. But it was a great action shot. You're right. It was like a big bill out of the corner, and he was just flying through the air. And it was one of those pull-out posters that came in the magazine,
Yeah,
so it was
yeah.
very large. But yeah, that was really cool to reminisce and to for him to have that all these years later and to get it signed. I think he really appreciated it, and I appreciated doing it for him. So yeah, it was fun, man.
Love that. We will raise a glass to you, Mike, good sir. That made my day. Honestly, made me smile. I thought, oh, that is incredible. We see so many wonderful shots of incredible fans having their merch signed. But imagine being on it. That's brilliant. So round of applause to you, good sir. Round of applause to you. Well, speaking of the applause, we are going to go harsh into our preview of the WWE's next PLE, that being Crown Jewel from Perth, Australia, this coming Saturday. It's going to be a really early morning for you, Bryan. What is
Oh,
it, like 8 a.m. start, something like that?
well, that's 8 on the East Coast. So
Oh, wow.
for me, it's 5.
Woo!
It's like interviewing Harry Smith all over again. Um, but I'm guessing I'm usually up by 5, so who knows? I may turn it on and do cardio at the same time. We'll see. I got to know a lot more about that card before I commit.
Okay, well, let's run through the card with you right now and then see by the time we get to the end of the show if we can get Bryan completely invested and committed to Saturday's show. So, starting from the top, with it being Crown Jewel, we are going to crown a Crown Jewel champion as the title holders from both Raw and SmackDown will be going head to head as the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes takes on the visionary that is Seth Rollins. And also on that show, we're going to have Stephanie Vaquer taking on Tiffy time, Tiffany Stratton. Now, what are your impressions, Bryan, of champion versus champion matches? What do you think? As a talent, what do you think of the concept of champion versus champion?
I like it. I think it will bring out the best in both of those two women. I like them both. They probably are in my top 5 of everybody in the company as far as the women's division goes. Have been impressed with Tiffy. She's just gotten better and better, even though some of the talent she's worked with have not really been up to her level and sort of, I would say, held her back, but she could have progressed even faster had she been booked with some different people. But still, to her credit, she's remained, continue to climb and get better and better. And then Stephanie, of course, another one of my favorites. A huge star around the world. I see so much potential in her internationally. They can do so much with her. I wouldn't be surprised if she wins. I would pick Stephanie to go over, and I'd be all for it because I just think she can do so much for the company globally.
They are shining her star
Yeah.
so brightly. But I think Tiffy as well. I think Tiffy has got such a massive upside. Even coming off the issue that was all over the internet, which was the I hate the word botch, but we're going to use it here. The ref botch from the triple threat that we're going to actually talk about with our guest next week. There's a little hint. But I think she came away unscathed. But I completely, and I like to say this phrase, echo your sentiments, big man, because I think Stephanie Vaquer is going to take this one. I think they have got her pegged. They have strapped that rocket to her back and they are shooting for the stars. It's going to be a good one. It is both of those matches I'm looking forward to. They've got a lot to live up to with them both being champion versus champion matches. So let's hope that they both shine. Another match that is going to be taking place on the card was announced last night on Monday Night Raw, and that's going to be our Australian street fight as the OG1. I've no idea why they put the one on the end. OTC1 versus Big Bronson Reed. He is the hometown boy over there in Australia. But as we said before we started recording, if this Australian street fight starts involving kangaroos and didgeridoos and boomerangs, that is the Tomcat out. That might be the spot that I walk away from professional wrestling.
I could see a boomerang possibly happen. I'm just saying, if it's anything goes street fight, I would not be surprised with that. So we'll
Well, this
see.
boomerang might not come back.
Well, at 5 a.m. wake up call time for me. That's going to be a tough one. I mean, if it kicks off at 5, so we'll see.
Mm.
I'm an early riser. I'm up early, but I
I
don't know if
think I think we'll hook you in before the end of the show because there's some more matches lined up as well.
okay.
For us over here in the UK, it will be a 1 p.m. start.
Oh,
So
perfect.
I love
Perfect.
that. I love that. You know, it's from we said if we could turn back time. to the good old days throughout the 80s, the 90s, the noughties, when us Brits here in the UK were staying up to 1 a.m. for the start of the show, for it to finish at 4 a.m. I'm now reveling in the fact that we've got a 1 p.m. start because I get to watch the show, and then me and Charlie are off out on for a gig. We're going to go and see punk rock band New Found Glory on Saturday, so that's going to be epic. I'm looking forward to spend a little time with the boy. It's going to be
So
good.
finally, the big time differences pay off for you, Tom. That's a good. Hey, proud of you, man. You can't beat that.
There's going to be a payoff somewhere down
Yeah.
the line, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, all those years of staying up till 1 a.m. and then watching the show. That's why our good friend Jonathan O'Dwyer is what I call him the Irish vampire. The guy is up till 4 a.m. Yes, Jonathan, I'm talking about you again in a good, positive way, though, man. What a creative genius we have on our hands. Shout out to you, Jonathan, while I'm thinking about you, man. But yeah, he's a guy that stays up till 4 a.m., 5 a.m. because he messages me all the time. I'm like, it's past your bedtime, kid.
It's past Tiffy time, definitely. It's not
Yeah.
past Jonathan O'Dwyer time. We are sending our love out to you, mate. And
Yep.
as you will get this from me and Bryan, thank you so much for the incredible job that you are doing on our visuals. They are absolutely out of this world, and you should really take that big pat on the back like Barry Horowitz.
Big time.
Yes, you are smashing it, mate. Well done, and thank you so, so much. Well, also on that particular card, we're going to see Rhea Ripley and Io Sky against the Kabuki Warriors of Kairi Sane and Asuka. And one of the questions that I wanted to ask you, Bryan, at this particular spot is last night on Raw, we saw Io Sky take on Kairi Sane in a one-on-one match. And there was a spot where Io was powerbombed on the apron, on the edge of the apron. What is your impressions of working at that particular space in the ring? It's that has got to be, and everybody bigs it up. It's the hardest area of the ring, hardest space. What's it like working on there? It's cringeworthy to me with all the accidents that we see happening lately.
Yeah, it's a good place to get injured. Injuries definitely occur in that area more so than in the middle. I know back when I was working and even after I left, I think the rings they were always very, very stiff and hard in WWF, WWE. The rings were horrible. I always thought that. And I think at one point in time, I think Austin may have had said something about the condition of the rings, and I think they actually got better when he.
Okay.
I think so. When I'd heard that, and I don't know if it's true, but I heard it from a good source. But if he did, good for him because it's helping the guys. It's helping prolong their career, less chance of getting banged up every night. And when he was working his schedule, he knows he was 300 plus per year. But back to the question, the apron, yeah, I see a lot of people getting power bombed on the apron. I see a lot of guys dropping the leg, and that's your hips really taking the bump because you're dropping the leg across the person, whether they're laying, facing you or even face down. You're still taking the brunt of that leg drop.
Mhm.
So for me personally, I always avoided that. But I did other things flying off the apron and stuff. But even to me, I still think that those bumps are a little more safe than the apron. I think it is. You're taking a big chance there.
I completely agree. There's so much room for error when it comes down to slips. The amount of space that you're working in is so tiny
Yeah.
that there is a lot of room for injury. So guys, please just be safe. Look after yourselves. You only have one body and you only have one life. Cherish it. And if you are spouting the absolute truth when it comes to Steve Austin going out of his way to make the ring safer, more power to him. That is your working space, and every working space should be safe, especially if you're traveling around the world on it. Go for it. Make sure it's safe. Um, it, just thinking back as well, when between the time that you were in the WWF and WCW, was there a difference in the ring size? Was the WWF rings bigger?
Yes. Yeah, they were.
Okay, so
By,
was
by
it more
two
difficult to work?
2 feet larger WWE rings. The WCW ring was. I loved it. I really did. It was still firm, um, but it was a better bumping ring, if that makes sense. And I enjoyed the ropes better, doing like a slingshot over the top, or either a slingshot into the floor. It just was better. It was always tighter. And I was a guy that always went out and checked the ring before the show. after it was set up, yeah, I would go out and check the ring. If I was doing something special that I knew that I was going to hit something big, I would even climb up on the turnbuckles and just get a quick feel for every city that I was in, where the hard camera was going to be and what I was going to do. So I'm sure most guys do that. They're smart if they do, go take a look and see what's going on.
That's really interesting insight. I like the visual form that you were out there checking everything out prior, and I think it's got to be done. You've got to make sure, like we just said, that your working space is safe. So go out of your way. If you're not doing it on the indies and you're still listening to us, make sure you take a little time before the show to go and check exactly what you've got to work with on the night.
And do what the Tomcat does each and every week. He works the hard camera. Look at that. That is money right there.
The dimples are in. This is because of Eric Bischoff. I always wanted a dimple like Eric.
Got it.
Oh,
Uh,
just tickle myself there, brother. Speaking of tickling myself, I'm going to be tickled pink at the fact that we have got John Cena versus AJ Styles one more time. His final appearance in the ring in Australia. And this is a match that I believe, through reading all the dirt sheets, was especially requested by John Cena himself. That is a wonderful testament to the skill that is AJ Styles, right?
Absolutely, it is. I didn't read other than I didn't see enough build up for this, but honestly, it's a match that you could have without the build up.
Hmm.
Both the guys are really talented. I think AJ will really work hard. He always does, but I think maybe even a little more so with Johnson. This is a huge PLE in Australia. AJ's super talented, man. He's one of my favorites. He's just been amazing. Even back to his TNA days, to his Japan days. I mean, the guy has done it all, and is always in phenomenal shape.
No
Not
pun
just,
intended.
not just, yeah, exactly. Not just the phenomenal one, but the guy's always in phenomenal shape. AJ's at least the mid 40s, if I'm not mistaken.
No, he's
And
not.
so, and he recently re-signed an extension to his contract, I think maybe a year or so ago. But hey, congrats to him. He deserves it. He's looking great, and I have no doubt that that will be an excellent match.
Whenever I see AJ Styles, it always reaffirms what we put into this business, and that is positivity. AJ always seems, no matter who he is standing across that ring with, whether or not he is on a press junket, a media tour, whether or not he is advertising any particular merchandise that the WWE is putting out, he is always a positive and uplifting personality. So, AJ Styles, we applaud you, good sir. Keep doing what you're doing. Let's go as long as we can possibly go at the level that you go, because you have been going strong for years. Well, speaking of going strong for years, I want to segue, seeing as we're talking about John Cena, into a topic that is very, very hot on the press right now, and that is Adam Copeland and his contract status with AEW has just come to an end, actually about 48 hours ago. There are lots of rumors spinning and swirling around the professional wrestling world that we may see a return of the rated R superstar to Edge for John Cena's final match in December at Saturday night's main event. What would you think about Edge's return to the WWE?
It seems like most guys go to AEW for a while and then they end up coming back. Um, it's hard to say as far as a lot of the guys I seems to what I see is like it seems like their last real big run is with AEW and then they sort of just come home. However, look at Rusev. He went down there, they didn't do anything with him, and now he's coming back and starting gaining some momentum back in WWE. I'm sure that they could put a spin on it with Edge and come up with something to make his return epic.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's just a matter of the timing, the booking, how they're going to bring him back. Um, he looks great, so it's just a matter of how it's presented, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think as well, with just how old Edge is. He looks phenomenal. His work rate in AEW was fantastic. However, the sands of that hourglass are trickling down. And I am sure, with him being such a massive fan and a huge name in the archives of the WWE universe, that he would like to finish out his career Stanford bound. So let's see if it happens. It'll be really interesting if it does happen. And speaking of AEW, flip flats and bounces back to and from the WWE, we've seen that this week with one Andrade. Yes. The former Andrade Cien Almas has taken another trip back down to Florida and has gone from the WWE, heading back to become all elite. Now, question that I've got for you, Bryan, is
Okay.
I'm sure one of the factors of Andrade leaving would have probably been the fact that he was in a constant proximity of his ex-wife, Charlotte. Not to say that there is any animosity, anything like that. We wouldn't want to paint that picture. However, it must be really difficult seeing a loved one that you are no longer with every single week. It's like you can't get away from it. And one of the questions that I had from you is you'll have experienced it within the locker room of artists like Randy Savage and Elizabeth, of Steve Mongo, McMichael, and Deborah. After they split, how were they to work with each other? How were they working with each other after the splits?
Well, I'll address this first with Andrade. I met him SummerSlam of 22. We did an autograph signing in Las Vegas. Great guy. I really like him. He was so nice and professional and just everything about him. I've always liked it. I got to spend the whole day with him. And I know you can't judge a person just on one day, but my interactions with him and my experience, top-notch guy. But as far as being like with Charlotte and going through a divorce in the same company, it's got to be tough.
Yeah.
I just, and even if everything is copacetic and everything is fine and dandy on the outside, you really don't know. It's actually probably a good thing that he went to AEW, even if it's for just a break.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Um, just like with you mentioned Mongo. Uh, I think there was some tension there in the locker space back in the day. But now with Randy and Elizabeth, that was so far removed when they in the WCW days. I think everything was fine with those two because if it had occurred in WWF, might have been a whole different story. But in the WCW days, when those two had already had the divorce and everything, and Mongo was, excuse me, Randy was with someone else, and Liz the same thing with Lex. So yeah, I just think that was everything was fine during that period.
That's nice to hear because they made such an incredible on-screen partnership that as fans, they were always a couple that we loved to see on our screens. So to know that they were harmonious behind the scenes, it's a heartwarming thing. It is.
Yep.
So it's great to hear that. And
Yeah.
like you say, I think it's nice that if he could step away and still go to earn money, because that's what it's all about. It is a business that we are all in. And if Andrade can take a step away from the WWE and just be a part of, just be completely separate to that, just for a little bit of time, ease out, take a breath, but still earn money, then more power to him. So yes, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. And I'm sure he will be spotlighted beautifully on Dynamite and Collision. So good on you. Well, speaking of Dynamite and Collision, two other shows that have been hot to trot this week, but also a show that I have been fixated on the past couple of weeks has been NXT, as we have seen a TNA invasion. Oh, we can't use the word invasion. It's a showdown. It's a showdown. So, TNA Showdown is going to be taking place tonight. So if you're around 8 p.m. Eastern this Tuesday, that'll be 1 a.m. in the UK. Check it out. It's going to be NXT versus TNA Showdown. They've got a big show going on there as NXT battles TNA. What is your impression of this particular inter-brand, inter-promotional mashup? as it were, in the professional wrestling world?
Uh, I think it's just part of the big picture. I think it's sort of, two more parts of the machine under the umbrella that will get a shine. TNA being the newcomer to the group, I think it's a good chance for those wrestlers to get let the company really see how well they do at a PLE under their brand.
Mhm.
I think it's a good thing, especially for those people that really haven't had a chance to get some eyes on what they're doing. I'm one of them. I don't know all of their roster. I know a few of the guys, some of the guys that I'm uh, fans of, that I really enjoy their work. So it'll just take a little bit of time, just like anything else. But I'm sure that some of those people sooner or later will get called up to the main roster. It's their chance to let them see what they got.
I could definitely see a call up very, very soon for one. Say his name, and he appears. Scotland's very own Joe Hendry with an appearance on WrestleMania this year against Randy Orton. He has been knocking it out of the park every time he has been put on a television screen. I definitely think that Joe will be snapped up by the WWE once his TNA contract expires. It's also nice to see some of the older faces. I say older. Some of the faces that we used to see on WWE programming pop back up on NXT programming in the forces of the Hardys. Matt Cardona, Eric Young, Frankie Kazarian, all incredible talents. Now getting the opportunity to head back up north and be under that spotlight once again. So all eyes will be on NXT versus TNA Showdown. Four big matches already announced, but I'm particularly looking forward to the Hardys versus Dark State. I think that particular tag team have got a massive upside. We will focus on that again next week and let you know exactly what I thought of that particular show. Well, speaking of particular shows, I've been looking at Raw. I've been looking at SmackDown. Gotta say, Raw is a much more difficult show to watch. It's so long. I'm enjoying SmackDown. It being about an hour and 20 minutes, I can handle that. But one of the big upsides that I've been watching lately has been Sami Zayn's US Open Challenge. And this past week, we got to see Alistair Black take to the ring with the one and only Sami Zayn. I think, in my opinion, this is a wasted opportunity. It should have been built up to this because it seems like it was just thrown away. What are your impressions of Alistair Black and Sami Zayn as the US champ?
Well, I really like the open concept, the U.S. Open Challenge. I like that. I know Cena originally did it years ago, and then of course a few weeks back, Sammy sort of reincorporated the whole idea of it. I like it. I also like the intro where in the backstage there was Miz and him having a little chit chat, and then Miz left him laying, which I thought that was a good thing because it keeps Miz relevant. He just is not a guy that's just doing an interview in the back going, okay, thanks for the 2 seconds of airtime. Bye. You know, now he actually has really laid somebody out. So there is some backstory to what is going to happen in the next few weeks. We'll see. As far as Alistair and Sammy, great match. I knew it would be. Um, hard to say. I don't know if it was wasted opportunity or so you felt as though Alistair should have got the title, do you think? Is that what we were thinking? Or
Maybe not at this particular time, but I feel that Alistair Black is such an next level phenomenal talent that he seems to be his wheels in the machine don't seem to be greased. And
right,
every time he gets an opportunity to do anything, it's like, oh, and we fall off a little bit. Oh, we fall off a little bit. And I
right,
feel the same way with his current rival opponent in Damian Priest. I feel the exact same way. They are both incredible. But I feel like putting them into this situation just on throwaway SmackDown
yeah,
was just a waste. It was just a waste. It was something that could have been done. And that would have been better if they'd have done it on the PLE. That's my impression anyway, with Damien costing Alistair the match. It was
Yeah.
I just thought it was just a throwaway thing, and it could have been built up and built up and built up because he's got so much about him. He being Alistair Black, sorry, pronouns, pal. But yeah, he's got a lot to offer.
So it makes you hungry for more, right?
Always hungry for more. Feed me more. Ryback, we're looking at you.
Oh, my man. Big shout out. So it makes you want to have everything on the menu, so to speak.
Yes, tick that box.
So I'm leading into Big Braun Strowman has a new television show, ladies and gentlemen. Everything on the menu. It looks great. I like it already. Did you get a chance to see that, Tomcat?
So there is so much potential in this, and one of the questions that we had between the two of us was, how is he using the Braun Strowman name? But that was one of those. I wonder whether or not he is still under the WWE umbrella in some particular form, or whether or not he's just had that green lit by the office that he gets to use the name separately. I don't know.
Yeah.
If it's an intellectual property that's owned by the WWE, they are going to want to hear those cash registers ka-chinging. Is this going to be on the USA Network?
I think it is.
Okay.
I think so. But I need to double check. We can always leave that in the comment section somewhere. But it just looks like it's a good fit for him. And of course, he can call me, and I'll be happy to come on and we can do an eating challenge. I'm up for that. Just so you know, Big Braun. I met him a couple years ago at Mania. What a great guy. So yeah, just so you know, Braun, I'm in.
It's all ribeye steaks all the way. We will go for it. And if you ever come over here to Manchester, we have many an eating challenge. However, the one that always seems to stump any member of my friends and family group is the chocolate challenge at Slattery's in Whitefield. It is a smorgasbord of chocolate. Literally, it's too much for me. I couldn't try it. My son tried it. That was the end of him. I don't think I saw him for the rest of the week. Yeah, he was done and dusted. But if I know anyone can dominate that, if you can take the jet over to Manchester Airport, I'll personally drive you to Slattery's. Braun Strowman, you're the man, brother. You can do it. We're looking forward to his brand new show. Massive round of applause and more power to you, brother. Speaking of bronze, well, let's talk a little bit about other Bronsons, as the Vision have also been hitting our screens very, very strongly this week. We talked about Bronson Reed going against Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel. But shall we just talk a little bit about the upsides of Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed? Tell us your thoughts on those two big men.
Uh, I I thought about the question we had talked about earlier off air. I think that I understand those guys being in the Paul Heyman stable,
Mhm.
but personally, I think that one, or maybe I would say both. I would say one of those guys needs to go out, be on their own without Heyman.
Okay.
And I
Who would you
think
do then?
I would probably put Braun Breaker and let him go. And eventually it's going to happen anyway. We all know that.
Yeah.
I think if that does happen, he will get even a better reaction, and it'll be somewhat of a face reaction, is my opinion. I think that if he gets out of there on his own, he's another guy who is going to do and is already doing really well on the merchandising side of things, with the shirts, the whole barking gimmick, all that stuff. And I like his talent. I mean, I love the shirts that say 23 miles an hour. I think that's great because we all remember the guy getting speared out of his skin.
Yeah, man. Carlito, wasn't it? Oh my goodness. You're going to be with
Wow.
him. I want you to question him about that.
Okay. There were some guys that really took some great bumps for him, but he really the way he accelerates, it's fantastic. So yeah, I think I would like to see him on his own out there and just see what would happen. It would be a sink or swim situation. He would definitely be swimming laps. As a matter of fact, he would be swimming so much. Yeah, he's just loaded with talent, great look, always in shape, and is so athletic. So
He
I
is.
think it would be. I think Big Bronson Reed. I think he is better off with Paul for a longer period of time. That's what I
Paul
think.
will give him that shine. Paul will
Yeah.
shine it up real nice. And we saw that on Raw during the
Yeah.
promo. But I completely agree with you. Bron Breakker has got a massive future ahead of him. In fact, so much so that he's had the future spray painted onto the back of his gear. He is Vince McMahon's wet dream when it comes to a WWE superstar. He has got the size, he has got the speed, he has got the look, he has got the durability, he has the pedigree. He is the son of a Steiner, for Christ's sake. So he is ticking all the boxes. His in-ring is fantastic. He is going to be one to watch over the next couple of years. And I know when Triple H often does his promos down at NXT, down at the PC, to hype up the new recruits to say one day it could be you that is the main event of WrestleMania. Beautiful, incredible, multi-talented Bron Breakker is going to be that man sooner rather than later. So he gets a rubber stamp from us here on the Meltdown. Now, I want to find out actually whether or not Bron Breakker fits in to Brian Clark's plans when it comes to a brand new game show that I've been concocting. I'm
Oh,
the king of the quiz shows.
he is.
So let's see what we've got. And also, just while we're on that, just announced on social media, I'm going to be taken to the stage at the M&S Arena in Liverpool for Comic Con Liverpool. Incidentally, headlined by the Unseen 17, John Cena. Is going to be in the house,
Wow.
Brian. Yeah,
How about that? The Tomcat and John Cena, same building, same time. Uh, I know we're going to get some inside scoops right here on the Meltdown. The Tomcat and John Cena. That is amazing. We've been waiting to hear that. I knew about this a while back, but I had to zip it up. And now, as usual, the Tomcat is dropping bombs right here on the Meltdown. I love it.
What better place to drop the bombs than with Adam Bomb?
Absolute. Hey, right here, man. That is fantastic.
It's
That's
going to be a sight
oh
to behold. I'm very
yeah.
much looking forward to it. We're going to see if we can get some questions asked as we take to the stage with our game show. Never going to quiz you up. It's going to be fun. Well, speaking of game shows, a new one that we are going to put in front of Brian Clark right now is one that we call Superstar-mchair booking. You see what we've done? We've taken Superstar, we've added armchair. It's a Superstar-mchair booking for one of our wonderful, wonderful, beautiful guests, our beautiful host. I'll clap this bit. We'll take it in. Superstar-mchair booking. It is going to be Survivor Series time, rolling up next month. And I want Brian to put together the most incredible Survivor Series team that he could, with him being El Capitano. Yes, he is going to take it to the brink. He is going to be leading the pack against another team of 4. So, Brian, let me ask you, if you're booking Adam Bomb, are you going to be babyface? Going to be heel? Going to be babyface? Going to be heel?
Got to be a face. Got to be a face.
Yay!
Yes, got to
You got a
be. Got to
bogey,
be.
baby.
I when you said this over to me, I was like, wow, which direction am I going to go? What era am I going to go? Because I know if for those that remember in '93, we had a classic Survivor Series in Boston Gardens, the old Boston Gardens. Some great people on those teams: Randy Savage, Big Diesel, Rick Martel, myself, 123 Kid, Marty Jannetty. We had IRS on that same team, had a hell of a match, and I really enjoyed that. So I thought, man, here's my chance to go old school and put my team together. And I've added something a little special for Tom he didn't know about. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on you. So
Okay.
are you ready for the face team of Survivor Series of my choice as El Capitan? Are you ready?
I can't wait to see it. Let's see what the quarterback had got. Let's do it.
All right. My 4 guys, including myself, Adam Bomb is 1.
Yeah.
2 is Bret the Hitman Hart.
Woo! We're hitting it strong.
Number 3 is Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig.
You know, every time you mention him,
Oh, of course,
my
I
face.
got to. I need someone to make me laugh also. So there you go. And the 4th, got to go with the immortal Hulk Hogan.
Wow.
What a team, right?
What a team. My
Now,
God, that could sell merch.
and here's another one. Just to enforce there will be no shenanigans on the outside. Miss Jackie as our manager.
She doesn't take any guff off anybody. She
Uh,
is tough as nails and definitely one of the boys, as it would have been back in the day.
so you didn't expect that, did you, Tomcat?
No, I like that though. I like that.
All right.
That is incredible. What a babyface team. Right. I want to see who's going to be putting you guys over.
Well, I've got four that are going to put us over. Here we go.
Okay.
The Big Boss Man.
Love it. Now are we talking sort of the big boss man
Yes, the
against Hulk
heel
Hogan in a
version.
steel cage, Twin Towers
Yes,
style boss man? Okay, yeah.
that guy, that one, that version.
Ray was scary in that.
Oh, he was. And could move for like a 300-pounder. He could go.
Absolutely.
Great punch, too, by the way. I had to put my boy in there, no doubt about it. The heel version Kona Crush.
Yes.
Had to put Big Bryan in there.
Love it.
And then, of course, Ravishing Rick Rude. And we got one more. He is absolutely wonderful. Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
Wow.
What a team, right?
The spots would be incredible.
And their manager on the outside, the devious one, Mr. Fuji.
Fuji.
Oh,
Wow. Yes. Well, I tell you what, from that level of talent, I'm going to raise a glass to all those, to our fallen comrades, to the brothers in arms. Chin chin to you all. What an arrangement of talent. There we go. Adam Bomb, Mr. Perfect, Bret the Hitman Hart, and Hulk Hogan taking on the Big Boss Man, Kona Crush, Ravishing Rick Rude, and Paul Orndorff. Miss Jackie on the outside for the baby faces, Mr. Fuji on the outside for the heels. Wow, that is all go. I'm looking at that list and thinking
I know.
there's no weak links, brother.
I looked at it and I was like, man, this list really reminds me of Survivor Series. When I think of the original Survivor Series back in the day, I mean, I remember I couldn't wait. Even when I was in college and I was playing college football, we would always any pay-per-view we could get, we would watch because back then there was only four per year, the four big ones, and that was one. It was like Thanksgiving and Survivor Series, and we were just so excited to watch it. So yeah, that's why I went back. I went old school, but most people will know all these guys, and if you do not know them, you need to know them. It's called YouTube. Just look it up.
Check it out. Pop it in your Google machine. Any of those 10 names. They are incredible. And yeah, I used to love the concept of Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Teams strive to survive. You never knew who was going to be partnering up on either side. It was just a full-on mashup. You could have people who weren't in rivalries facing off with new opponents. And you could really test the ground from there.
Yeah.
To see how well you gelled together, how the reaction of the crowd was. One of the things as well that I heard about the Survivor Series, and you can tell me if this is right or not. As one of the competitors on a Survivor Series team, you weren't allowed to break up the pins. Is that right? Can you remember this?
I do not remember that.
That's something that I heard from Bruce Pritchard. He was like, nope, we weren't letting him in because we'd have been there forever. It'd have been a case of everybody would be in every 5 minutes. So it was a low key, nobody's in to break up the pinfall situation. And I was like, oh, I'm going to ask Bryan about this.
Yeah, I mean, that could be the case. I just do not recall that for some reason. Just thinking back to the Survivor Series that I was in '93. I'm just not sure. I have to go back and watch that and see. Great question, though. It could be very well true. Can't hold me to that one because I just
no. I'm literally, as always with this show, flying by the seat of my pants, and we come up with things on the fly. So
I like it. I love the questions. Yeah, that's a good one. I like it.
Yeah, check it out. See what you think. And looking at that list, I mean, Big Boss Man. Did you ever hear of the story of the Big Boss Man when he was Big Bubba Rogers and he was the bodyguard for Jim Cornette, and he was assisting Jim out of a car, and he had the car door slammed on his hand, and the door latched. So he had his hand stuck in the car door, and Ray no-sold it completely because there was fans around, and he was meant to be this indestructible force. Did you ever
Wow.
hear about that
I
story?
did not. No. Wow.
Wow, that is a proper heel, that, right?
Yeah, and he was such a great guy. We all lived in the same area. We were talking earlier about Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker was just a little fella, and I had Rick Steiner on one side of me and Scott Steiner on the other side of me in my neighborhood. And of course, Big Ray was in the neighborhood also. So we had some great times out on the lake, jet skiing. I would race Scott Steiner my jet skis. We would have a blast. So it just made me think. I was going to bring that up, and I forgot about it. And when you mentioned Ray again, Ray was another guy that was in our neighborhood. Just a wonderful time, no doubt.
Absolutely. I mean, we started the show with "If it could turn back time." That seems like a time I would have loved. Even that would be a show. That could be a show right there. Steiner sandwich with a boss man on the side and an
Yeah,
atom bomb as the meat. Like,
yeah,
what a show! What a show! It could be a sitcom. It could be a sitcom. But no, speaking of those guys as well, so especially the boss man comes as very nicely into our second game show of the week, and it's winner stays on. And
oh,
this one we are gonna find out as we rub those hands together who is gonna take the win at the end and who is gonna get dropped. As this week's winner stays on is legendary superstars who never won a world championship.
ah,
It's a big one, brother.
wow,
See where we're going with this.
sort of,
Let's
kind
do
of.
it.
Yeah, I got an
Oh,
idea. Yeah,
I'm going to get a few lunges in, a few
yeah.
stretches. Oof. It's tight here in this tux. We'll get there.
Before
Right.
we start this, I want to run this down here real quick, just for everybody. This is our 6th-month anniversary here, guys and gals, listening to us. We just want to let you guys know that for all the places and cities around the world, we're going to name a few. We thank you for tuning in. The Tomcat does a great job of finding out where you guys are listening from. How about this? Madison Square Garden area, Royal Albert Hall in London, Tokyo, Osaka, Toronto, Boston, L.A., Philly, Rome, Singapore, Philippines, Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, Munich, Melbourne, Brisbane, Sydney, Vancouver, Berlin, Hawaii, Zurich, Lisbon, Vancouver, Chicago, Calgary, and Phoenix. We love that you guys are tuning in to the Meltdown. Big round of applause for an awesome 6 months. Thank you. And now it is time for the hands.
The hands
All
are
right.
out. But that is incredible. What a list, Bryan. What a list.
It comes in, it comes in each week, and all these amazing places from all over the world are listening. It still amazes me that guy that you pinpointed, the guy out in Lake Michigan on a boat.
That's so awesome, right? Well,
Like,
who'd
wow,
have known? Who'd have thought it?
I love
If
it.
that was you, I want you to get in touch. I feel like
Yeah,
we need to send him something.
I
Um,
will. You let us know. That's a deal. I'll do that.
That's awesome. So incredible. But thank you to each and every one of you. And one of the beautiful reasons why you tune in each week is to listen to the words of wisdom of the creation of Devastation, to hear his spiel on current products, on historical products, and it's also to find out how well our guests and our host does when we put our hands out. So it's time for Winner Stays On. Legendary stars who were never champion. Let's go for it. First two names: Million Dollar Man Ted DiBiase and Buff Bagwell.
Got to go with Ted.
Keeping with Teddy, Buff takes a blockbuster. Ted DiBiase or Razor Ramon.
Wow. Still got to go with Ted.
Every man has his price, and Razor Ramon just took the edge.
Ah.
Ted DiBiase or Haku.
Oh, wow. I got to switch it. Haku.
You've got to switch it because that Tonga
I,
death grip's
I
coming
had
for you.
to.
Haku or King Kong Bundy.
Haku.
Haku or Arn Anderson.
I love you, Double A, but Haku.
Spinebuster. Haku or Kevin Sullivan.
Rest in peace, Kevin. Haku.
Haku or the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith.
How didn't you do it? Haku. It wasn't me.
We'll talk about that on future episodes.
Yep.
British Bulldogs going over?
No. Haku.
Haku
Yep.
or Rowdy Roddy Piper?
Tough one again. Haku.
Haku or Owen Hart?
Oh, Haku. Love you,
Ha-
Owen.
Haku or Luna Vachon?
Haku.
Haku or Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff?
Oh, Mr. Wonderful Paul Ondorf.
Travis is going to love you.
I
Mr.
just say
Wonderful or Bruiser Brody?
Mr. Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful or Bam Bam Bigelow?
Mr. Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful or the Junkyard Dog?
Mr. Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful or Brutus the Barber Beefcake?
Mr. Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful or Rikishi?
Mr. Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful or Abdullah the Butcher?
Mr. Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful or Ravishing Rick Rude?
Tough one. Mr. Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful or Hacksaw Jim Duggan?
Mr. Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful or Jake the Snake Roberts?
Mr. Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful or Brian Clark?
Oh, Mr. Wonderful.
Hey! An absolute icon and another
Wow,
one that we raise high.
He is a guy that he was my mentor in this business, and a guy that I spent time with at Smoky Mountain Wrestling on the road. And I remember him telling me those stories of the steel cage matches where it was for the gold, it was for the belt. And he said he had thought about it. He goes, what if I do just jump down and hit the floor before Hogan? What if I would have done that? We talked about that. And to find out that he's in the game today, I love it. I knew when you said it, all the other people, I was like, wow, Haku's got this. But Paul is a guy that was in those steel cage matches for the world title, all over the world, and so deserving. Some of those guys you mentioned, I don't know if they could have been trusted. I don't know if that's the right word, but I don't know if Vince would have said, okay, we're going with this guy at the time, depending on what was happening. But with Paul definitely could have carried it. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that one. Good one, though, Tomcat. Great list, man. Great. You killed it.
Great answers, brother. I like it. We're a tag team. We make each other shine. And there was nobody finer than Mr. Wonderful. He absolutely lived that gimmick. He was incredible. He was amazing. He was wonderful. So thank you so much, Paul.
And while we're talking about Mr. Wonderful, he's also in the new Series 1 title run toys. They are wonderful. What can I say?
They are wonderful. They are full of feliners. We are dropping bombs when it comes to TRT. We are hitting 450 splashes, Hoovy Juice style. We are slamming that 1, 2, 3 in a very quick count with Danny Davis. Am I missing anybody from Series 1?
There's Hoovy, Danny, myself,
Paul.
Who are we missing?
Ernest hitting the feliner. The cat.
You said that earlier. So feline. Yeah, that's the 5. Yes.
That's the 5.
And we're working on Series 2 as we are progressing and going into Series 2. Some great names that are coming out. TitleRunToys.com. Make sure you check that out if you are an action figure collector or you want something for Christmas. Now is the time.
They have just announced as well a new sale, 25% off their loose figures. So if you're a loose collector, you can now pick them up at a quarter off. That is a great stocking filler for the wrestling fans in your life. Go out of your way. TitleRunToys.com. You can pick up a bomber or 2. 2 different variants. Loving that. Excellent job. No, I love that game show, man. You did an incredible job, and I love the way that you put Paul over there at the end. We're definitely going to have to get Travis on the show to talk about his dad at some point. So,
yeah, he's doing a great job on social media with all of his pages. Fans love to see the old footage of Paul cutting those hilarious heel promos on people. Yeah, he could do it all. He really could. And I know his backstory. Former pro football player and a great college football player, and played with some of the all-time greats in college and in the NFL. So great story. Um, I remember him telling me on the road about how he watched pro wrestling. He was laying on the floor in his mother-in-law's house, and he was laying on the floor watching it. And he was like, I can do this. I'm going to do this. And he went down to Tampa. He lived in the Tampa area. He lives in Brandon, Florida, and got in touch with some people there in Tampa and started getting trained. Um, he's just a natural athlete. He's like if you look at Bron Breakker, there's an old school Paul Orndorff in there, with that speed. Paul was a running back in college. Bron was a running back in college. So there's so many
Comparisons, yeah.
comparisons and just a lot of their stuff. And Paul helped me and taught me so much about being vicious. And when you're getting that heat on somebody, really being vicious, and just he brought me up to another level on that stuff in my Smoky Mountain days. So always grateful to him.
Well, let's dedicate this show, as we do, to fallen icons. Mr. Wonderful, this one is for you, brother. You always sent me a little un poco loco, a little bit crazy. Your heel work was incredible, next level. I mean, he main evented WrestleMania 1, for goodness sake. He was a star. So I'm so glad that he went over in this week's Winner Stays On. Well, we've got some big things coming up in the next few weeks here on the Meltdown as we go into our second 6-month period. We're going to get to a year. We're going to get to that beautiful 12-month shine. It is going to be good. I'm going to send Bryan an anniversary gift. He's going to open it on the 1-year anniversary. It's going to be great. We've got guests that are literally banging down the door of the bomb shelter. They're going to be appearing on the show. I am going to keep tight-lipped because it's always nice to drop a little reveal on there. But one of the things that we are going to build up towards over the next coming weeks, probably towards the end of October, early November, is something for another incredible talent that we would like to say thank you to and show our support to, and that is Nasty Boy Bryan Knobbs. He has fallen under hard times with the loss of his house and his current health implications. So we're going to reach out and we're going to try and do something very, very special for Bryan in the form of a game show that you guys can play at home from your smart devices, from your phones. You can join us on Zoom. I'm going to pose the questions. Bryan's going to read you some questions, and you guys are going to see who has got the biggest brain in the Meltdown universe. And it is all going to be in honor of Nasty Boy Bryan Knobbs. We're going to keep you posted on that very, very soon, but it is going to be exciting. It's going to be different, and we are going to support a wonderful member of the professional wrestling family. So, Bryan, this one is going to be for you, brother. Bryan, I think we're about ready to wrap this one up in a nice big bow. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. It's going to be a great show at Crown Jewel this Saturday. We've just had a belter of a show. I've laughed from beginning to end. My face currently hurts. So thank you, brother, as always, and thank you personally from me for the past 6 months.
Well, Tom, like I said earlier, man, you're the man, and I appreciate. I'm very blessed to have you as my tag team partner, and you have done an amazing job with this show. You're always so creative between both of us booking and getting talent and getting things scheduled. You're halfway around the world. I'm over here in Arizona, but we're making it work, man, and it's been fun. And we've had some great guests on this show, and like you just said, we don't want to give it away, but we have so many big time names that are coming on the Meltdown. And the one thing that resonates every time with me, and everybody that comes on the show, they always say the same thing. It's like, man, I had a blast. That was great. Like they're on a 2-hour high after the show is over. And that makes me feel good. That means, like, you know what? We did something great there, and we can put some smiles on people's faces, people that are listening to us while they're rolling down the interstate. Take a listen to the Meltdown, man. We always keep it fun, always keep it positive. That's what we're about. And we just want to show you guys a great time every time.
That is what we're about. So whether or not you're rolling down the interstate or you are fishing on Lake Michigan, make sure you are tuning in to YouTube/ at Real Bryan Clark, or you can find us on any of your podcast services. We're all on Apple. We are on Apple Podcasts. We are on Spotify. There are so many ways that you can check out our show. Go out of your way to do so. Also, if you've yet to do it, make sure you're hitting us up on our social media channels. You can find him at Bryan Clark 3X Champ on Instagram, me at Tom Finkill, and our official page at the Meltdown Official on Instagram. You can find us all over the rest of the social media networks, whether it be X, TikTok, Facebook. We're everywhere. We are international. We are global. In fact, there are aliens currently listening to the Meltdown right now, somewhere over into the stratosphere. So, from me here in Manchester, thank you so much, guys, for the past 6 months. It's been an absolute ride, and we aren't slowing down. We are speeding up. More force, more power. It is going to be an epic journey, and you're invited to be our guests. From me, the Tomcat of Manchester, and from him, the creation of devastation, I'm going to finish it off with a bang, 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 and Bryan's going to take it out. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been 6 months. Thank you for tuning into the Meltdown. Ooh.
Thank you, Tomcat. Again, we really appreciate each and every one of you listening to us every Monday. And today happens to be a Tuesday for us, but that's okay. We're going to get back on track because, hey, tech issues do happen. But we got it corrected. We're good to go now. And again, moving forward, so many great guests are coming up. If you look back through our history of the last 6 months, we've had some amazing people on here: Gene Snitsky, Mr. Kennedy, Glacier. The list goes on and on. We've had wonderful guests, and they all enjoyed being on the Meltdown, and we appreciate that. We sincerely do. We thank you guys for being here for the first 6 months, and get ready for the next 6 months. Because as you know, all gas, no brakes, baby. That's us. We are not, to borrow that line. Yeah, that's what we're doing. And we really appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for joining us. We will be here every Monday breaking necks, cash and checks. We will see you this coming Monday. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great day.
Oh, boom.